A school district had to cancel classes on the 5th day after the catalytic converters were stolen off all of their buses. There's an urgent hunt for a naked man prowling around a neighborhood in a GIMP mask, and a blind woman can now see through her tooth. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast in the universe. I'm your host, Jonesy. I got 3 kinky stories from around the world. Yeah. A school district canceled classes on the 5th day after the school buses had their catalytic converters stolen. This story is out of Indiana. A school district had to close its schools after someone stole the catalytic converters from many of their buses. This is low-class behavior. I mean, isn't it fun to witness your homeland make a beeline from first world to third world status? I mean, that's what I feel like is going on. I mean, these are school buses. The kids need to get to school. You're going to steal the catalytic converters from the school buses of all the vehicles. You're probably wondering, what sort of slime steals the catalytic converters from the school buses? Well, it's very simple. They're called meth enthusiasts. So amazing how twistedly enterprising people can get when they have a severe addiction. Now, according to the Facebook post from the Michigan City area schools, transportation staff discovered early Tuesday morning of this week that the buses had been vandalized. They say they were forced to switch from in-person learning to online learning due to the thefts of these catalytic converters. The district said it is working closely with the Michigan City Police Department as they investigate the incident. The thefts occurred on the district's 5th day of school, which means we shouldn't completely discount the other obvious suspects, the children who decided they did not want to go back to school. They didn't want to end their summer vacation. They wanted to extend it, and who can blame them? I mean, these poor kids have to go back to school already. It's still summer. They go back to school in mid or early August. It says here their first day of school was August 13th. These poor kids. I had August off as a child. I didn't have to go back until September. Even in my neighborhood, I noticed the kids are already back in school. I see all these kids walking down the street. I'm like, what are they doing all walking down the street? School is back? What did they get, like only 2 months off? I mean, when I was a kid, we had 3 months off of school, and I often enjoy making fun of the youth on Weird AF News and how coddled they are in life. But I tell you, they got it rough here, having to go back in the beginning of August to school. That's not cool. Back to the story about the catalytic converters being stolen by some weasels. Here's a quote from the school district. "We know this sudden change is disruptive, and we appreciate your patience and support as we work through this unexpected situation. The school system said it would keep families updated on how the rest of the month might be affected, but for now they're doing classes online, just like back in the 2020 years. The 2020 years. You guys remember that pandemic thing we had? Yeah, all the kids were doing classes online, and now they're going to be doing it again because apparently they can't walk to schools. They can't walk. I know it's too much to ask them to walk to school. These kids are soft. I'm back on that. Yeah, they're soft. In my day, we walked to school in 8 feet of snow, uphill, both ways. The hunt is on for a naked man wearing a GIMP mask and prowling in front of homes. Bring out the GIMP. The GIMP's asleep. You guys familiar with the GIMP? The GIMP mask. This is a prop that very kinky, weird people are into, apparently. I didn't know about the GIMP until I saw the movie Pulp Fiction. It's a leather mask that covers your entire head, and where your mouth is, there's a zipper. I don't know who invented the GIMP mask. I suppose I could Google it. That might be fun. Let's try it. Now, AI claims that there is no known single inventor of the GIMP mask, also known as a bondage hood, as it evolved from the broader history of fetish and bondage wear. But the term GIMP mask was popularized by the 1994 film Pulp Fiction, which featured a character in a GIMP suit and a mask. Another article says the bondage hood within the BDSM subculture can be evidenced in the community's underground press as far back as the 40s, as well as forming an important part of the culture of queer sex club scenes in the 70s and 80s, as documented in the photography of Robert Mapplethorpe. This article here has the entire history of the GIMP mask and GIMP wear as it's been permeated into sex and fashion culture. Wow, I mean, you could learn a lot about it. I didn't even know there was this much information on the GIMP mask. This is I'll tell you right now, though, this Google search just screwed everything up for me on my laptop. I better get ready to welcome like 6 months of advertisements for bondage wear. Let me get back to the story. I've gone off the rails a little bit, just trying to learn things. I like to learn new things. The UK has yet another naked man wearing only a GIMP mask on the loose. Ring doorbell owners were shocked to find a nude man prowling around in front of their cameras on Westby Street, Cleveland Road, and Bannister Street in Lytham, Lancashire, in the early hours recently. Well, God forbid a man have a hobby. Come on now, what's wrong with this? At least he's not naked completely. I mean, he's thinking of the children. I mean, the article says he's naked, but he's got a mask on. How can you be naked if you have a mask on? I see the photo. He's got socks, and he's a hairy bugger. Isn't that what they say in the UK? He's a hairy bugger. Now, up top, I didn't mean to gloss over this because the article begins with the phrase, the UK has yet another naked man wearing a GIMP mask on the loose here, because there's been a couple instances of this apparently over the years. I don't know why. I believe I covered a story some years ago about a man walking around at night in just a GIMP mask. I'm sure, the authorities are on the case. There's a lot of questions here, but who are we to judge someone's evening wear? Maybe this guy was on the way to an Eyes Wide Shut party. The Lancashire police say, quote, "We are aware of a concerning video circulating on social media of a naked male wearing a face covering, walking around Lytham in the early morning hours. This incident was not initially reported to police and has only been brought to our attention after it has been viewed on the Facebook. But no worries, we currently have a task force on the case. It's a GIMP task force. We have a bondage task team. They're currently conducting CCTV and house-to-house inquiries and would like to reassure you that we are taking this matter very seriously. If you think you can just walk around naked in our community with a GIMP mask on, well, you are sorely mistaken, my kinky friend. Meanwhile, please beware of the GIMP that's out there. It's clearly it's off its leash. So hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your pets. We believe this hairy man with a quirky fetish might attempt to hump everything in sight." Now, the article says that this GIMP incident comes just a few weeks after Panther Man was spotted prowling around gravestones in Merseyside. A person dressed in a catsuit has been terrorizing locals after being spotted stalking people along secluded paths, reportedly leaping out from behind gravestones and bushes. This mysterious weirdo, dressed in a skin-tight black catsuit and a mask, was captured on camera meowing and writhing on the ground near Walsey Beach, Merseyside. Footage shows the person wriggling under a fence near a pub. Local residents claim that the Panther Man resembles a, quote, banshee, urban jaguar, and even possibly a GIMP, and some locals say the community are trying to hunt him or it down. Well, it seems like this Panther Man has completely taken over this article about the GIMP. I thought we'd have more information about the GIMP. I found another article that begins by talking about Lytham, which is where they've spotted this GIMP, and I think this is important information. This is a sleepy seaside town, best known for its stunning sea views, pretty high street and gardens, and nearby golf courses. Average homes price in the Lancashire resort are around £350,000, and its population is about 24,000. They enjoy a genteel pace of life. This information helps put this all in context, because now you see this is a sleepy little seaside town of about 24,000. I believe they still call them hamlets over there because, over in the UK they like to throw around the most archaic language still for some reason. It's a torch. No, you mean a flashlight. Now, the GIMP man is believed to still be at large currently, and locals in the quaint seaside town have spoke of their shock after the unidentified man set off alerts on doorbell cameras, leaving the locals completely baffled. They interviewed a resident of the town named Len Hammond. He says that, quote, "Well, you do sometimes see some clowns around here a bit." Thanks, Len. We appreciate that. What would we do without Len, a community member that really gives a damn? I'm looking at a picture of Len. I think Len could be the GIMP. I'm just going to put that out there. I think the local police should look into Len Hammond. Take off your shirt, Len. You got a hairy backside? We have a quote from a local lady who says, "Well, after they shut the police station about 20 years ago, we get a lot of drunk people at night." Yeah. Oh, really? Since they shut down the police station, you have a lot of drunk people? Yeah, this is England, correct? Everybody's drunk all the time. I mean, police station shut down or not. Here's a quote from someone else. But we've never had anything like this. You can only assume he's done it for a dare or something. At least he didn't do anything like break into homes, but you'd get a shock if you came across something like that, I tell you. Must have been on one of the warmer nights, I'd say. I love that. I love the humor. People in the UK, it's just very understated. Yeah, it must have been a warm night, huh? Yeah, of course. I mean, if you start seeing the gimp out on a snowy night, you really got to start worrying, I think. It looks like the police are going to be going on a manhunt, a gimp hunt. And if you happen to have any information or knowledge regarding this incident, or believe you have some footage that could assist with the police inquiries, contact the Lancashire Police at lancashire.police.uk. I know there's some of you out there who are impressed by the way I pronounce Lancashire. It's only because I learned it from a Beatles song. I believe it was, is it Day in the Life that they say it? I think it might be Day in the Life. Love that song.
Right now, at the Home Depot, you'll find storage solutions made to fit your needs. Grab an HDX Tough Tote to protect your tools. Or keep your sports equipment contained with reinforced snap-fit lids. Or stack up and make better use of your space with bins and totes built to last. Whatever you're storing, we've got the gear to keep it organized and protected at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
A decade after losing her eyesight, a woman can see again through her tooth. It's the sound of science. Boop, boop. Science. Here we go, guys. This is the cutting edge of science and technology. A blind woman can now see through her tooth. How did they do this? This is weird. After 10 years without sight, a Victoria, British Columbia lady saw her partner's face and her dog's wagging tail for the very first time thanks to a tooth surgically implanted into her eye socket. There's a photo of it. Yikes! Oh, man. Don't look at the photo of the tooth in the eye. I'm just going to tell you that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm happy the lady can see her dog's tail wag and her husband, but man, this is scary. Now, her name is Gail Lane. She's 75 years old. Wow, 75 years old and still doing stuff like this? I would just give up. Like, oh, I can't see in that eye? Forget it. I guess I'm not seeing in that eye till I die. She's one of 3 Canadians to undergo the rare tooth and eye surgery, technically called osteoodontokeratoprosthesis. I nailed that. I totally nailed that in one try. Wow. Now, Gail here lost her sight 10 years ago due to complications from an autoimmune disorder that caused scarring to her corneas. In the weeks that followed the complex 2-part surgery, she gradually regained her ability to see. She said she's able to see light at first, then she could see movement, and then the wagging tail of Piper, her service dog, became perceptible. She could finally see Piper. What a happy story on Weird AF News, right? I don't have many happy stories on Weird AF News. Of course, I'm going to find a way to make fun of her still, because I just can't help myself. I make fun of everyone else. When you snap your finger and wink your tooth, I come running to you. See how I snuck the tooth eye in that lyric? That's genius. Or stupid. No, it's more stupid, I think. All right, now here's another nice little happy treat. It turns out that Gail first met her partner, Phil, her current partner, after she lost her eyesight, so within the past 10 years, and had never seen Phil's face before. Nearly 6 months after the tooth in her eye surgery was completed, Gail saw Phil for the first time. See? Happy. She's looking at Phil through a tooth. It's very bizarre. I'd like to know who the hell came up with this idea that you could see through a tooth. You stick a tooth in the eye. And then who was the first person to volunteer to try this cockamamie idea? This just seems crazy. Why wouldn't you use something other than a tooth? I don't understand. There's so many other things in this world that you probably could have used in place of a tooth. Why not just use a 3D printer to print out some, like a little, I don't know, a little ball? I don't know. The tooth must have some special properties that they had to use it. And it is, after all, an eye tooth. Oh, get it? Eye tooth, guys. You know, there's a thing called an eye tooth. It's basic. I call them fangs, but they're eye tooths. All right. I'm curious to learn, like, what's with this tooth technology? Can we use the tooth to solve other problems? Oh, you got a bad liver? Well, just shove a tooth in there. You're fixed now. You're fixed. I got a nut allergy. Can we do something with that? How about we cure that? So many problems. I got a giant penis. Do you know how hard it is to live with this giant penis? I'm so limited. It's a very hard life living with this big member. Maybe they can replace it with a tooth so I have a more normal sized member. Okay, back in the article. Time for reading. Let's learn. While the surgery has been done in other parts of the world, not just Canada, ophthalmologist Dr. Greg Maloney from the Vancouver Mount St. Joseph Hospital was the first to bring the operation to Canada. He says, quote, "It's a complex and strange operation, but it basically involves replacing the cornea." Yeah, I get that, but how do you go replacing cornea? Who's like tooth? Tooth will do the job. Seems strange to me. Wouldn't you use something that was made of glass? A tooth isn't even translucent. It's like hard bone. The doctor says the surgery begins by removing a tooth from the patient's mouth. Okay, so it was Gail's own tooth. The tooth is then implanted into their cheek for several months until it is encompassed in strong connective tissue. Both the tooth and connective tissue are then removed from the cheek, and a plastic focusing telescope or lens is inserted into the tooth. Using the connective tissue as an anchor, the tooth and new lens are sutured into the patient's eye socket. Oh my goodness, there's a close-up photo of the tooth with the lens in it. Oh, this is gross. Wow, this is so weird. But, I mean, if this is what has to be done, this is what has to be done. If you want to see, stick your tooth in your eyeball. The article ends with all the benefits that Gail now has. She's picking out her own clothes. She's got more independence and mobility. She's taking short trips and walks here and there. And she doesn't have to grab onto someone's arm all the time. Right, that can be annoying. She is going to be scaring children, though, for the foreseeable future. Well, maybe put some sunglasses on most of the time. But, I mean, look on the bright side. This Halloween, she could work as a scare actor in one of those haunted mazes. Make a little extra cash. Wouldn't even have to put on any prosthetics. I found my coat and grabbed my hat. I made the bus in seconds flat, dun, 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 dun. Found my way upstairs and had a smoke, and somebody spoke, and I went into a dream. Ha, 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 dun, 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 dun. I read the news. All right, I'm going to stop. But I just love singing that song. It's so fun. Let's get drunk and sing together. Who wants to? If I ever come to your city, we could do drunken karaoke. Just have such a great time. And then I can crash on your couch probably. Do you have a closet I could record the show in the next day? As soon as my hangover wears off. These are the things. I'm really off the rails. 17 minutes in. Okay, let's wrap it up because I don't want to go past. I don't even want to hit 20. Okay, tomorrow's Florida Friday, right? So it's a Friday episode, only news out of Florida. If you want to send me Florida stories, email funnyjones@gmail.com, Instagram @funnyjones. You can send links. Please include a link, and please please only send me stories that are fairly recent. Please, nothing from years ago. I don't really want to use those. Some of them I've already done. In fact. If you want to support the show, I have a Patreon, and you can buy me coffee. And you can do all of that at my website, weirdafnews.com. It's a lovely place to visit. And you won't even catch any diseases, I promise. And before I go, I'll just say this. Like I always say, good luck with your GIMP, man.